morning, Chicago Cubs fans, and welcome back to another edition of Cubs Daily. My name is Steven Ryan. The Cubs take the series from the Marlins. It was a good game, not the game you necessarily want to see when you're facing a team that is not as superior to you, but it's good to see the Cubs battle and get the W when they don't have their best stuff. We're going to talk about Kyle Tucker. We're going to talk about Cade Horton's performance as well, and we'll preview the Reds series. But before we get into all that, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for all of the support recently, all the subscribers, the likes, the comments. We truly appreciate it here at Cubs Daily. Continue to show that support. Like the button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know why you haven't subscribed. And continue to comment and let me hear your guys' gals' thoughts on this Chicago Cubs team. So, let's start with the Cubs 2-1 victory. It was a very, very solid win for the Cubs. I know, Steven, what do you mean solid win? It's 2-1. You're not going to have your best stuff every day, right? Over the course of 162 games, you're just not going to you're not going to be able to score 7 to 14 runs every single game. So sometimes you got to really be in these nitty-gritty games where you're like, wow, I don't know how we're tied with the Marlins, but here we are, and that's exactly what happened. The Cubs absolutely battled, and they were able to steal it in the later innings, and the bullpen was able to shut the door. So it was good to see that reaction as well. The Cubs didn't need the bullpen on Tuesday, but they needed some help on Wednesday, and they got just that. No runs were allowed by the bullpen, and it was enough for the Cubs to squeak by 2-1. Another series wins for the Chicago Cubs team. That's all you can ask for. We now sit 10 games above 500, starting to get a little breathing room. I know, probably only 2.5. Nothing too major yet, but again, very exciting to see. We're 3 up on the Cardinals, 5.5 up on the Reds. We'll talk about the Reds here in a moment. And we're getting pace on the Brewers and the Pirates. Well, they are the Pirates. So let's not take too much time talking about them. But I think we've lost sight of a message here on Cubs Daily, okay? I haven't said it in a while, but I think I just need to remind you guys, and maybe we can remind the Ricketts too. And that's to please pay Kyle Tucker. Pay him immediately. I'm going to say Kyle Tucker won the game for the Cubs. I mean, yes, I get it. The pitching staff did fantastic. Do not get me wrong. We'll go over the box score here in a second. But Kyle Tucker, 3 hits. He hit a home run to give us the lead. He got a hit to drive in the game-winning run. It was an absolute must. Actually, what's the Marlins? Hold on. Tucker drove in the run there. And then, I don't think they gave him the RBI because the left fielder misplayed it, but he had the hit that drove in the game-winning run. Kyle Tucker absolutely was a menace yesterday to the Marlins, and honestly, ever since he started DHing, he's really, really turned it around. If Seiya Suzuki can play solid defense, which, by the way, I know the past few years he hasn't really done completely perfect at right field, but Seiya Suzuki's been a pretty solid right fielder defensively. Again, when you overexpose someone in sports, tendencies will show that they might not, reciprocate as well. But if you give Seiya Suzuki some spot starts at right or left to give Hap a break or just have Kyle Tucker hit, fine. I think that will be a good, healthy balance for this team. But Kyle Tucker, 3 for 4 yesterday, hit a home run to give us the lead, and then got the game-winning hit in the 8th inning. So I know the Cubs, I believe, are the only team with exclusive access to talk to him right now and say, hey, what's the payment to get you here? I don't know if Kyle Tucker's going to be very stingent. I imagine he wants to get to free agency, but it's like, hey, give this man what he's asking for. Just offer to him on a plate and say, hey, we're here to pay you. We want you a Cub for the rest of your career. Because this man has absolutely expanded everyone else's playing career, right? Seiya, locking in better, 836 OPS. PCA, 866 OPS. When Tucker's sitting right there in the lineup, the gravitational force he has on impact on players around him is absolutely incredible. So you obviously have to pay this man. So, again, the message will remain the same here on Cubs Daily and probably in any other Cubs channel network that you guys and gals see here going forward. And that's to pay this man all the money he wants. Please, just pay him. Now, let's talk about another important aspect of that game, right? I'm talking about Mr. Cade Horton. Kid Cade in his 3rd career start. I'll say this, it wasn't perfect. Not by any means was it perfect. Not was it, Was it 18 up, 18 down? Or, 16 up, 16 down in his specific situation? But I'll say this, the kid battled. He had a lot of tough situations early on, and he battled and got out of them. He only gave up the one run in the first inning, which I believe was a home run by Mr. Norby, who drove, actually, it was a 2-out RBI by Norby, but either way, that was the only run he gave up all game. Kid Cade battled, went 5 1/3, the longest outing of his career. It's the swing and miss stuff, right? I believe he generated 16 swing and misses. Lots of great pitching from him. Again, a lot of great strong moments from him as well. I know he walked a few guys. It wasn't necessarily the prettiest game, but it's about when you don't have your best stuff, ladies and gentlemen, and you still come out with the win. I've seen comments all over TikTok and Instagram. They're like, I love watching the Cubs struggle. Wins are wins, baby, and I'm going to take all the wins that we can get. That is what I'll say. Thielbar came in, gave us an inning. Brad Keller, who, by the way, kind of underrated in this bullpen, by the way. I love Brad Keller. And then Daniel Palencia got revenge for Monday night and got the save. So, it's a game of a few hits there, a bloop and a blast there. Cubs take 2 of 3 for the Marlins. Kid Cade does pitch incredibly well in this one, which I was happy to see. Now I'm excited to see him in his next start, right? See if he learned anything or has improved in any capacity. So, the Cubs are going to start a 3-game set here with the Reds. It's all going to be starting tomorrow night at 5:40. The Cubs will have on the bump. Let's take a look here who the Cubs are going to have on the bump. I believe it's going to be Matthew Boyd. Mr. Boyd is going to give the Cubs the first start. He's been absolutely spectacular for the Cubs. I'll say that much. Matt Boyd has been nothing short of impressive. What a great signing by Jed Carter. Fantastic addition to the staff. Hunter Green's going to be on the bump for the Reds. He is their fireballer. He is their ace. Curious to see how the Cubs match up. Happy that Ian Happ is going to be back for this one since he absolutely owns Cincinnati, both just playing the Reds and playing in Cincinnati. He did go to the University of Cincinnati, so I can imagine that he enjoys hitting in the ballpark there. So, Cubs got Boyd on Friday. We'll have Ray on Saturday. And Ben Brown going for us on Sunday. So I'll say this: the Cubs probably have their 2 best pitchers that are active on the roster right now, going in for this series against the Reds. Again, would love a sweep, but hey, 2 of 3, another series win. We continue to slowly progress our record above 500. We sit 10 games above 500 through the 50-game mark. Absolutely fantastic pace this Cubs team is on, finding ways to win ball games that are not easy. So, it is a big series coming up here in Cincinnati. Let's see if the Cubs can take 2 or 3. I'll have a bigger preview for the game tomorrow. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your Thursday. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.